One of the main features of the voting integrity bills Republicans are introducing across the country is voter ID. According to the Democrats and the media, this is, of course, racist. In fact, it's worse than racist. It's
Jim Crow on steroids.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow in new clothes.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow in a suit and tie.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow.
Jim Crow.
A new Jim Crow.
Jim Crow.
Backsliding into the days of Jim Crow.
voter ID is just the latest example of the GOP turning into an extremist, alt-right domestic terror group or whatever. There's only one problem. Most Americans agree that voters should have to show a valid ID before voting. In fact, not just most, but nearly all. According to a recent Harvard-Harris poll, 87% of Americans support voter ID laws. It's not extreme, it's the mainstream. Back with us, Rob Smith. What do you make of it?
Yeah, well, Steve, you know, the funny thing about this is that I came out as a Republican about 3 years ago this weekend, and it kind of has become this big thing. And I'm always shocked that me being a Republican is in any way controversial at all, because the things that I believe in are the things that the majority of Americans believe in. Things like voter ID, things like border security, things like putting America first. And when it comes to this voter ID conversation, it's very interesting that for the Democrats, there is a Democrat-run state, Rhode Island, has very strict voter ID laws, but it has been Democrat-controlled. They haven't voted for Republicans since 1984. So Democrats are not really worried about voter ID laws in the states that they control. It's only in the states that they want to control more. And so that's when they have to throw the race stuff out there. And there's a very funny internet video where a liberal, a white liberal, goes around and asks other white liberals what they think about voting ID laws. And so you hear these white liberals saying, oh, black people are too stupid to get ID. They don't have access to internet, things like that. So it's, again, the soft bigotry of low expectations for the left to think that blacks are too stupid to get an ID to go vote.
Exactly, that's so great. Thank you, Rob. Particularly great to have you with us this Memorial Day weekend. Always a soldier. Lovely to see you as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.